So hello, and if you don't know me, my name is Bella, and I live in Los Angeles, and I'm an enthusiastic lover of raw food. I really enjoy creating delicious recipes that are full of nutrition, specifically raw plant-based nutrition. And one of my favorite things to do is to recreate Italian food. That's because I grew up in an Italian-American family, and when I decided to go raw about 4.5 years ago, I found it really challenging because I couldn't find a lot of good recipes to recreate those flavors I was used to. And so I spent the last year working like a few times a week trying to just recreate recipes that I grew up loving. And one of the first ones I tried to recreate was a pizza. Excuse me. And so I created this flatbread, and that's what we're going to learn today. We're going to learn how to do a sun-dried tomato flatbread, and I have a garlic herb cheese spread that you can put on top. But the great thing about these recipes is that you can actually use them for other purposes. So the sauce, the cheese, can also be watered down to make a really good dressing, or you can use it as a dip for raw vegetables. And the flatbread can be used on its own, like with the salad on the side, or you can use it as a sandwich bread. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, so as you can see, I have a lot of stuff here, and I tried to get everything organized as best as possible. We're gonna start with the flatbread. And the reason why I think you should start with the flatbread is because of just time management purposes. It is gonna need to be in the dehydrator for a few hours. And so what you can do is once that's gotten into the dehydrator, you can make your cheese sauce and just leave the cheese in the refrigerator while you wait for your bread to firm up. By the way, at the end of this workshop, I'm going to tell you guys about a giveaway that I'm doing. So wait till the end. And of course, if you have any questions, I'd love to help you. If there's anything, even if it has nothing to do with this recipe, like if you have questions about raw food, I would love to help you. So think about that and save it for the end, and I'll check the comments, and I'm happy to help. All right, so we're gonna need a food processor, and like I said, a dehydrator. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can use your oven. Just turn it on the lowest setting. I know a lot of ovens, the lowest it goes is about 200 degrees, which is not raw, but you can prop open the oven door, and that way air will circulate in, which is important in a dehydrator. It will lower the temperature just slightly. It's not gonna be fully raw, but you're still gonna maintain a lot of the nutrients that would have been cooked out if you were to bake it at, say, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I apologize to my European and international friends because I'm like a typical American. I don't know Celsius. So I really apologize. I hope you understand what I mean when I say Fahrenheit degrees. Okay, so we're gonna start with some buckwheat flour. And let me show you how I made this. I started with buckwheat groats, and I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna get a little closer to the camera. They look like, I hope you can see this. Let me see, they look like this, you see that? And what you do is you just put them in a high-speed blender, and you blend until they become flour. And this is what it ends up looking like. It's really, really smooth. And it's super easy to make. So I'm gonna put this in my food processor. And then I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of ground flax meal. I also make this in my high-speed blender. And then I've got some nutritional yeast, and I have the recipe written down for you guys in a PDF. And there's a link, there will be a link for you to click on so that you can download it and make it yourself easily. I got some chopped onions, some sun-dried tomatoes, and this is what they look like after they've soaked. I soak them overnight, and you can see they're not quite as vibrant red as they are whenever you buy them. And then you drain the water and tightly pack them into a 1/4 cup. And I have a teaspoon of crushed garlic, crushed and chopped. I have some salt and pepper, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and a 1/4 cup of fresh basil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulsing this to incorporate it before I add the water. I hope you can see this. Basil leaf stuck. Okay, now that it's starting to blend up, I'm going to take half a cup of water, and while the food processor is on, I'm going to just drizzle it in. Then I'm going to bring it up to high. Okay, so I'm going to bring this closer to the camera so you can see what it looks like. It's a fairly sticky dough. It looks like this. You see how it's not runny. It sticks to my spatula. And I'm not going to make you suffer through watching me spread this on the Teflon sheet, but I'm going to show you what the Teflon sheet looks like just in case you don't know. And then I'll explain to you how I do it. So this is a Teflon, this is the mesh screen, and this is the Teflon sheet, and it's kind of like non-stick. And what you're going to do is you're going to pour all of the batter onto this one sheet, and then use, you don't have to if you don't have one of these, use one of these spreaders to just get it as thin as possible. I'll do just a little bit so that you can see about how thick we want it to be. If I were to do this right now, you would get so bored because it does take me a few minutes. But here, this is about how thick we want it to look. I hope that helps. And then what you're going to do is you're going to dehydrate it for about 2 hours at 115 degrees. And then you have to flip it. Let me explain what this means, because I know some people have told me that they're intimidated by dehydrators, but they're not bad at all. They're easy. So what you do is you take a mesh screen and you put it on top, and then you flip it over, and then this is not going to work because of it's not cooked. But you just peel this off. Oh, it is working. Nah, not really. Okay. So you peel it off like that, and then you put this in the dehydrator for another hour. So like I said, I have that recipe written down for you. So you're welcome to go to the link to get it. And then I'll show you what it looks like. I already have one prepared. So next, I'm going to show you how to make the cashew cheese. This is so easy. What you're going to do is in your blender is you're going to take 2 cups of soaked cashews. You want to soak them for at least 4 hours. And the reason why I soak them is because it releases the enzyme inhibitors, which makes it harder to absorb the nutrients. So if you soak them, it easily comes out. So we've got we have cashews, we have Italian seasoning, lemon juice, garlic, salt and pepper, and Irish moss. This is totally optional. This is what it looks like. It's kind of jiggly. And what it looks like in its natural state is, I'll show you, it's kind of creepy looking. It's this seaweed. I hope you can see this. Let me take it out. This comes sort of dried, and it looks like this. And what you do is you have to rinse it and soak it. And then after it soaks, you blend it up, and it becomes this gel. And it's an incredible source of minerals and collagen, which is why I love taking it. And then we're going to add some water while it's running. And I won't make you suffer through that sound, but then it's done. It's really easy. You chill it, and this is what it looks like. Is really good. Now let me show you guys real quick what the flatbread looks like after it's been dehydrating for a little while. here we go. So as you can see, when I flipped it, I took a pizza cutter, one of these, and I made it into the shapes that I thought would be the best for flatbread. And that makes it a lot easier, but you could also just take scissors and cut them into shapes. It's totally fine. So to assemble this, I'm just gonna take one of my little flatbreads. Oh, look at the back. This is pretty cool looking. It's like very smooth. I'll try it in a moment so that you can see that it's actually really good. And then you take the cheese, put it on. And I have some julienne vegetables right here. I have some zucchini and some carrots and some tomatoes. And then here we go. We have this little flatbread pizza. And you can eat it like this, or you can put it in the dehydrator for about 20 minutes to warm up. It's really good. So I'll show you. I'm gonna put a little more cheese on this. Sometimes people like to put crushed red pepper on top or some truffle salt. It's really good. The sun-dried tomato bread is a perfect base because it's got flavor, but it's not overpowering. The cheese has a really nice punch of garlic, and the salt is just enough to give it flavor without overpowering it. So that's my flatbread pizza recipe. I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you make it yourself. If you do, let me know. I started a giveaway the other day on my Instagram page. You may have seen it. And I'm gonna extend it for one more day until tomorrow morning. I'm giving away a pizza cutter, one of these spreaders, which is so helpful, and I know a lot of people don't have them when they're first starting out, as well as a julienne peeler. And that's how I got these really finely shredded vegetables. And all you have to do is download the PDF. That's all you have to do. So if you signed up on the Instagram for the giveaway, don't worry, you're still part of the raffle. But anybody who signs up for the PDF, I'll also put you in the raffle and I'll announce the winners tomorrow morning. So that's my recipe. If you have any questions, I'll sit here and stare at the screen awkwardly for a minute. If you want to ask me anything, and I'm happy to help you with anything you're concerned about, especially when it comes to raw food. I know it can be a little daunting at first, but maybe some of you have already been doing raw for a little while. And if you have, let me know. I'm kind of curious. Okay, I totally get it. Well, if there are no questions, then I'll just see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to, let me see. Well, you can always ask me questions on my page or on any picture. Oh, I see one. If I don't use oils, what can I replace it with? That's a great question. You know what I would use? I would just use a little more water because it's really more for flavor and for more liquid. So don't worry about it. You don't have to use any oil. It'll be fine. Are there any more questions? Okay, well, thank you for listening, you guys. Thanks for watching. I love sharing my food with people, and I hope that it helps some people. Can I do the cheese with pumpkin seeds? I don't think it would taste that good with pumpkin seeds, but if you wanted to try sunflower seeds, that would probably work. And also Brazil nuts works just fine. What do you think about coconut oil? What do you mean? What do I think of coconut oil as like nutritionally or for the recipe? Raw Organic World, I'm in Los Angeles. Where are you? I like your name, by the way. Okay, so the coconut oil question, if you wanted to use it in the recipe, it'd be fine. I'm still on the fence about coconut oil nutritionally. I'm actually learning about it right now in one of my nutrition courses, and At the moment, I'm not really a big fan of oil in general, to be honest with you. I do use a little olive oil in my recipes for the flavor, but I try to be really careful about how much I actually eat because it's just such a dense form of calories and it doesn't provide a lot of nutrition. So it's definitely not a staple in my diet, but I think that if you want to make a nice dish like a pizza for your friends or your family, it's okay to have a little bit, especially olive oil, which is kind of like a middle grade oil. It's not horrible for you. It's not that great for you. It's kind of like neutral. So coconut oil, I don't know. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure that out. Okay, well, this was fun, and I really appreciate everybody asking questions. And I'm slowly saying goodbye in case anybody pops up, but I think we're done. So don't forget to sign up for the PDF. It will enter you in the raffle for the giveaway, and also you'll have the recipes easily accessible. All right, guys, have a great Sunday or a Monday if you are on the other side of the world. Bye.